All right, welcome back to Studio 40 Live. Here we go at 10:15. We got to talk Beam time. And you know what? If we rewind the clock, which I don't want to rewind it, we were sitting here like, all right, it's time for Beam time. And, now we're like fired up. Exactly.
You could dunk right now. You're that excited.
Exactly.
A couple weeks ago, we were actually trying to add a player. It was Beam Tim that we were trying to add. Now we're back to Beam time.
Yeah.
This is great. All right,
he's going to like this.
He's got to do it because last time he did it, he said prior something bad happened. But the last time, they've won 7 in a row. You have to do it again.
He also went rogue and just did it. He didn't even wait for the countdown. So he's got to kind of do it, and I'll just do a 3, 2, 1 and hit it.
Oh, we already hit it without hitting it. Oh, no.
What's that going to mean?
Apparently we don't need the beam. What is that going to do?
Are you people not superstitious?
I don't know.
I'm dying inside.
I say can we delight it and relight it? Okay, just keep it lit.
That's something Beam Tim would do, but not.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm not even touching the buzzer. All right, let's get to it.
Speaking of can't touch this, you know what? It feels like the Kings haven't lost since last year.
That's a good observation, Scott Moak. I like that. Yes, absolutely right. Going for 8 straight tonight when they head up to Milwaukee.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's incredible the way they're playing.
Do you remember last time they did that?
It wasn't back in the 02, 03 era, was it?
Doug Christie was not the interim coach. He was a player on that team.
Is that right?
Yeah, 02, 03. Or excuse me, the 02, 03. Yeah, November
would be 8. Yeah, would be the 8.
That's the 8. Yeah. The franchise record is 15 straight. That was Rochester, and then 12 is the Sacramento. That was the 01, 02 season.
Yeah, 02.
Yeah, I was going to say those guys probably won 10, 11, 12 back in the day. Yeah. With Doug as a player.
All right, well, break it down.
Remember last week I said 2-1 road trip, and they've secured that. Now they can get greedy and go for 3 against the Bucks.
Well, and Milwaukee suspect. I mean, they're just 20-17. They got blown up by the Knicks. I mean, they're beatable. They are beatable.
Absolutely. I mean, they got the leading scorer in Giannis, and things are working with Dame. But yeah, as you mentioned, they got throttled by New York.
Yeah.
Kings are coming to come in there, and they're going to carry the momentum that they have. A little beat up. Yeah. No, Chris Middleton is out for the Bucks, but Malik Monk also, who's been playing so well for the Kings right now, questionable. He's got a little groin soreness.
Get in there.
Gary can attest to.
Yeah, I can attest to the groin.
I mean.
Look, well, every now and then, I try to limp it out to another spot.
Wow, I didn't know you had groins.
Yeah,
but I mean, look, for the season, we talked about, if they could be middle of the road defensively, blah, 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 this will end up in good things for the Kings. 14th in the season, that's where they've been all season long.
Yeah.
Now they're up to third.
Third in defensive rating.
Isn't that wild? Well, you can see it. I mean, you see it on the court. They're actually getting in there. It's very intense. They're pushing things. They're making things happen. That Boston game, I know we got the real quick. I'm just going to say this is Chicago, but the Boston game, I had no idea they were going to win that game, and they did. Then in Chicago, I didn't realize the Bulls, which where I'm from, Chicago, because I'm not really following them that much this year. They're actually a good team. They can shoot.
Typical Bulls.
Absolutely. Fan. And you know what? Look, this is exactly. They were missing a guy in Kobe White, so but I mean, look, they just had gotten De'Aaron Fox back. He nails that 3, coming back from that glute contusion. But it was the Bulls who had the sore rear end after this game.
Right. So what's going on with the glutes and the groins? What are we talking about here?
Look, the glute contusion is a butt bruise. Okay, let's be real.
Exactly.
But yeah, they put it all together for sure. And to watch them down the stretch, I felt like, well, they got that 5 count, right? That defensive inbounding 5 count.
Crazy. Josh Giddey
that happens a couple times a year. And to do it at that moment is just amazing. All right, what is the success? I mean, obviously, Doug Christie, lots of things you could point to as it relates to why this is happening. But what are you feeling as the true ingredients of why we've seen this turnaround?
I honestly just feel it's a new message, and it's an inspired message. I mean, however you find momentum, and I don't know if you guys are big believers in momentum, but
I am.
Anything can happen. Like, I think firing a coach is the ultimate wake-up call. And then all of a sudden, you play inspired basketball, and look what can happen. Who knew it could happen in 12 days? To go from a 6-game losing streak to a 7-game win streak is just wild to me. We've covered the NBA a long, long time. That's incredible. Mm-hmm. But to the turnaround, to your point, you ride with it. And however you can find that momentum, no matter where it exists and where it is. This team always plays better on the road. That's why I thought they'd go 2-1 on this trip.
Yeah.
But it's the home court that's really been the bugaboo of this Kings team. But they've found shots go down. Their defense is much better. I think rotationally and schematically they're about the same. Mm-hmm. But you're finding guys play inspired basketball, and I think that message from Doug Christie really goes a long way.
It's us versus them, but it's always us. That's what Doug said.
I love that. He's awesome. Look, you know what? They're NBA basketball players. They're professionals. They're making all this money. Before the firing, it's like they're just. It almost seemed like, all right, well, we're just kind of going through the motions. Right. I mean, they're out there trying to win.
Yeah.
But are they really?
Yeah.
Because now it's showing. You know what? With this big mix-up, Now they're really trying to win. So you got to do things, and it's all about motivation. It's all about chemistry.
And
too.
however it
I think
happens,
chemistry.
DeMar DeRozan said he brought the team in. He's like, he had the team clip Doug Christie highlights. He's like, this guy played as an NBA player. This is the
one
guy.
of the best.
He set the tone. They showed him guarding Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, Tracy McGrady. He's like, this is the tone that we have to follow.
Punching Rick Fox.
Yeah, punching Rick Fox. And look, that's the highlight. That's his seminal moment, that signature moment for Doug Christie. It shows what type of player he was, and now it trickles over to the coaching side, and these guys want to play for him.
I would come in. I would show Tracy McGrady and Bobby Jackson fight. That's what I would show.
That was a good one.
And they have Kings jerseys on, and then you see Weber running in. I mean, like that's got to fire you up.
Yeah,
it fired me up when they showed that video.
Trey Lyles helped with a fire up a couple
goodness.
years ago. That was a good one too.
Well,
And it is funny what can spark a team,
Yeah.
right? What they
You
can
need
use.
something.
Wherever you can find it. And he took him up to the roof. They showed him a beam, said, this
Yeah.
is what you represent for this city.
That was cool.
It's like, corny or not, it worked. It worked. These guys get that message. They're playing for one another. And some of their best basketball took place with De'Aaron Fox out of the lineup. So they get him back, and all of a sudden things are kind of trickling on a little bit more, and you can ride that momentum back to Sacramento. You're gonna have 3 here at home after the Bucks game. So
And Keegan now, this guy hits a 3-pointer, raises his hand. He never did that before. He actually has
Showing some
expression
emotion.
on his face, some emotions. Yeah, he's trying. I mean, like, to show something. It's fun to watch that.
it is. I mean, I think for him, just seeing the ball go down, he had that ankle injury. He had jammed. He called it a jammed ankle. He had to sit out a little bit. To your question, point a minute ago, it does look like he's playing more healthy, a little bit more free.
Yeah.
You know what he brings defensively. He's been one of their best defensive players. People think that's affected his offense, but just getting that ball to fall
For sure. Seeing it go through the net,
Yeah,
indeed.
absolutely.
We can't not talk about Keon Ellis for a second. The guy,
When he's in the
unbelievable.
starting lineup, man, he's incredible.
Wow, yeah.
And like everyone says, they got to keep him in the starting lineup. Him and Malik Monk are the two guys I don't worry about. Whether they're starting or coming off the bench, you know what they're going to provide you. Malik Monk playing well, Trey Lyles playing well, but Keon Ellis gives him that defensive factor. He had 14 deflections before they went out on the road and didn't win the defensive player of the game.
That's 3 games worth of deflections.
Incredible. Incredible. You get that. You get like 3 or, like you said, 3 or 4. You're in defensive player of the year.
Yeah, one
candidate
That's
if you
right.
do that every single game.
Goodness.
All right, let's make sure we don't jam our ankles. I mean,
jamming or strain the groin. I didn't know all this
groin.
time you've been hosting the show with
a groin issue.
Yeah.
I've got the bruised butt, and I've got the jammed ankle. This is just from walking around the studio. I don't have to. It's a good thing I don't have to play an NBA game.
Carrying hits,
What would happen?
What? We'd have to call Beam Tim.
You have to call Beam Tim.
He's hanging with Royale.
Wow.
Yeah.
He is. Sean, phenomenal
Well
stuff.
done, Sean. Break it down.
Phenomenal. Yeah.
Hey, that Thursday versus Rockets game is on TNT, if I'm not
Nationally
mistaken.
televised.
Look out.
Yes.
And Rockets are hot. Not helpful.
No, not
That's all right.
helpful at all.
That's
And you know
right.
what? Last
We're
time in the
very
building,
hot.
Ime Udoka and a couple players got kicked out of that game.
Ooh, that's
so they're going to be
right.
playing inspired basketball.
Oh, I love it.
Kings are very hot.
Also love Sean Cunningham's Instagram. Go to follow it. He's got great info.
He most certainly does.